Hello and welcome back to Spekd. Today we're going to be looking at Warhammer Conquest issue number 23. 23 you say? This is a long time ago, it should have been out there. But you know what, here's the deal. Originally I recorded issues 23, 24, 25 together. I was lucky to get my hands on them early and basically produce the content. Unfortunately, the video footage for 23 and 24 became corrupted. So what I've had to do is wait until my new Conquest subscription had arrived, because I was waiting for that originally, but I went out and bought them. And now that it's here, I could record the reopening. So I'll be looking at this for the second time, and I'm just going to see if I can spot anything different. Now the advantage is that when the set came this time, or when it actually came, they actually handed you these brushes. So if you're getting a subscription, you'll see these brush sets. And I think this, as always, should have been in the beginning, but it's okay. And I mean, this is only if you get the subscription, they'll give you these brushes. And that's great because you're going to need them anyway. So what I'm going to do is go through this. So please don't feel away. And please recognise that as a bit of a collector, I understand what it is to miss out on a number. So 22 is already up, 25 is sitting there. So once I've done this one, I'll put up 24 and we'll go from there. And just to show you I have got it, there's issue 24, we'll be doing that after, okay? So let's continue with issue number 23. Second time opening. Let me open it up. So we're starting off with more terrain, and you guys know that I enjoy painting up terrain. One of the sprue pieces came out here. I mean, this is going to take seconds to paint, as you can see. It doesn't take that long. But we've got some blockades, tank traps, more barrels. Barrels always handy, especially if you're saving for recovers. We've got more ammo crates by the looks of it. And this looks like some sort of hatch. Not too certain what that's going to be for. Maybe they're going to add that in later. But as you can see, detail clean. It's all there on 2 sprues, and that's great. I mean, I want to have fun painting that. Again, just like you don't know, it doesn't take long to paint these. Sponge paint them if need be. You see the results of sponge painting there. So that's all fun. Let's get that aside and let's get the magazine. That's a nice piece of cover design there. We've got a lovely purple and green contrast as always, and some nerdlings, which were on the bases with the Terminators. Moving on, we have our information for the sections there. So there's a lot of history and lore in this one, and we've usually got used to expecting that when we don't have like major characters. We've got the battlefield accessories, how to colour them, what it's going to be, and how to build. We've got the ritual there, which is a mission, and that looks really good, and it's going to be summoning demons from the wall. So really, I would love to see like this issue having actual plague bearers, which are like these summoned minions of Nurgle, and behind enemy lines. So that looks like deep striking missions. We have information on chapter organizations, and it's the structure of the armies. Before the Horus Heresy, armies were allowed to get as big as they wanted, and through that corruption spread. And they decided that that wasn't a good thing, so Tributo Armor decided to rewrite the way that they structure themselves, and that would prevent whole armies falling, and it would just be sub-factions that just fell, so like smaller parts, smaller chapters. But you can see there, you have your structure for your HQ, chapter commanders, librarians, and it shows you the position of where they stand in levels of importance. And if you've got your codex, you'll see that it runs alongside this. So if you have been collecting the Conquest and you decided, yep, I definitely want in, and you selected your army, you'll see it has these little icons in the corner, which looks very much like your data sheet, and that tells you the position where they stand and how many you can have and how many are allowed. Okay, moving on. So we have Demons of Chaos. Now this is going to explain to you like how they've come about, what they really are. If you think of stuff of Dream given like physical form and manifestation, and it's not just like every dream like, oh, everything feels good. This is talking about the raw essence of humanity, the basic instincts of raw primal actions, and this is in such contrast to the kind of elitism and pragmatic thought of like the Imperium So it's such a diametric opposite, but it's causing so much aggravation because these are the true roots of the humans of the Imperium, and they're trying to fight against these things, and these things are pretty much immortal. You could destroy them, but they'll come back. They're stuff for dreams and nightmares. So this will never stop, and these make for great foes. And each god actually has their minions, so to speak, which is like dedicated creatures, which brings agony. And there you go, there they speak about the Chaos Alliance. You have the hierarchy of the Imperium, so how everything is structured. So you have the Adeptus Custodes, they're fantastic, which you would have seen the jet bites in the back of my videos at some point. I am still painting those up. And these guys are like the direct bodyguard of the Emperor. Then you have the Inquisition, which go out and weed out all corruption. You have the Adeptus Ministerium, as it pretty much says, they deal with all the paperwork. Adeptus Terra, they're looking after Earth. The Ministerium, they're just effectively a cult. The Imperial Fleet, so they're out and about in space. And the Questa Imperius, just basically, what can I say, knights. But there's more information there. And this is what I was really looking for. So we have the information based on Nurglings. And the Nurglings effectively are like small little creatures which just they're just annoyances, little pests, but they can grow, and if they stay around they can cause problems. They kind of remind me of gremlins. I think that's the best way of saying it. So they're not really overly malicious, but when they get started they can be. As it says there, you know, they got their sharp fangs and their little claws, and they're always gunking up weaponry and getting into things that could just cause issues. And they all work for Nurgle, so to speak. So some of the first tell signs that someone has fallen into corruption, if they're going towards this area of Nurgle, is they'll get diseases, they'll get illnesses, and sometimes out of their boils or out of their kind of cavities which are not being filled in, these guys will start popping out. So it's almost like they're using them as an access way in and out of the universe. So here we can see some history, some more battles. I think it was on Armageddon, if I was right. Yep. So you got here some Blood Angels there fighting off some orcs, and this is like an introduction to orcs. And this isn't the Lord of the Ring type orcs. It's more like we got machine guns, and whatever we think works in the way it does works. They're like Essex lads meet Cockney hard boys. Just meets the rugby player down the pub, and these are just the stereotypes, not the real versions. The stereotypes, that's them, and they're a lot of fun. You know, I'm thinking about collecting Orcs Army, but I haven't touched them just yet. Battlefield accessories, these are pretty much going to be snap and just stick. As you see there, you are going to need your glue. What have we got? We've got our crates, we've got ammo supply dumps. So this is really handy when you're playing your missions. If you re-roll ones when you're standing, if you roll a one when shooting weaponry and you're standing next to one of these, you get to re-roll that one. It's equivalent of like you've run out of ammo, let's just refuel, fire again. So that's handy. If you're not near a captain, this is good for you. Painting, as you know, when it comes to painting these models, just get the cheapest paint when it comes to like terrain, and then you touch up the little gold pieces or little details with the finer brush and with these paints, rather than, you know, waste all your Abaddon black or all your Mephiston. I tend to colour all of these in different colours just so I can tell which objective they're going to be. I think I kind of mentioned that before, but it's really simple to work with. And just get a sponge to do this, otherwise it'll take you ages. Nice little sponge, quick little wash, and you're done. It's really quick. So they've got their lead belcher, Tributo Armor, Nalo. Yeah, I mean, they've coloured these crates green. I mean, do you want to use up all your Death Guard green to paint these, or do you just want to kind of wash them and then start with that, or just sponge them a little? That's a bit of a waste of paint. Obviously, they need to get you to use a paint, so you buy more paint. But, you know, hey, So we're looking at a mission briefing here. I remember this, I haven't actually played it yet, but it's the unholy ritual. So they give you a little bit of story as always, and it's stop the ritual. So we're using our larger map here. We're not using the smaller map. We're going to be going in. You've got 2 deployment zones. You've got your pox walkers, 12 of them, 5 marines, foul blight spawn, and a biologist putrefier. Along with space marines, you've got the 5 intercessors, 1 interceptor, 5 reavers, and a primaris librarian. And they're going to be storming in, dealing with the situation effectively. You've got the situation of summoning. Oh, it's actually got it here. So you got information for summoning. Stop ritual. There we go. So what have we got? Place that's fine. For this mission, the Space Marines do not deploy. Instead, they'll start. Okay. Right. What's the victory conditions? The player that holds the most objectives at the end of the game is the winner. So I was kind of hoping, you know, I kind of read it before, kind of hoping that you would get like a little summon and you could bring in maybe 3 or 4 extra Plague Marines, and that will kind of give you an idea of the summoning ritual. Either way, it's okay. So as we know, issue 24 and issue 25. Issue 25, the video is up, that didn't corrupt, and you can see that. Issue 24, I'm going to do that anyway. So sorry for the delay there, guys. Hopefully that's okay, kind of puts things back in order. I hate missing out numbers, but again, it is what it is, and it's okay. $7.99, the price stays the same. Out of all the magazines, I like this one for the history and lore. You could really easily get caught up on the small models and only get interested in those, and you're like, yeah, you're gonna paint all of them. And I find that these issues with terrain gives you a bit of time away from painting models, which are characters, which kind of makes it a bit easier, just in case you get caught up in that loop of, oh, it's taking too long, or it's a bit too much, or you know, you kind of get bogged down if you have too many grey or blue models in this case. So having a bit of terrain to paint just to change it up is a real nice change. So that's it for this particular magazine, issue Conquest 23, and Warhammer issue number 23 Conquest, sorry. Getting big tongue tied. But I've enjoyed my time. I hope you enjoyed your time. And if you have, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, the usuals if you want to. If not, it's no problem. But stay around. There will be the 400 giveaway coming up fairly soon, because it has come up so rapidly. Like, it's just, for me, it's like, what was happening? Either way, I'm going to try and think of something to get ready for that. I think it might be based on painting, but we'll see. Either way, this has been Spekd. PC